Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Pine Podcast. Chris Demo here at Murphy's Law Irish Pub in Rochester, New York, in the Easton Alex Entertainment District. So thanks for everyone for joining us. I do have Morgan and Morgan here.
Hi.
So that's going to be easy to remember their names. We got the motherfucking Morgans in the house. So real quick, want to start out. We do have a local shout out today. We have Ardor Park Pizza, our friends over there. They actually deliver right next door to Dead Red Pecker. They're located at 117 Park Ave. They deliver to us all the time. You can actually order right from Dead Red if you're hungry for pizza. It is delicious pizza. They do have a great dining room, a bar area, a couple beers on draft. Please make sure you stop by and check out our friends over at Ardor Park Pizza. And from my understanding, there might be no more locations up and coming.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, good pizza over there, good people. Please make sure to check them out. Ardor Park Pizza, 117 Park Ave here in Rochester. So guys, we are here. We actually pulled this episode together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was relieving Morgan from her day shift at Magpie on Wednesday. Other Morgan was at the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
And I said, do you guys want to be on it together? They were like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, all right.
Hell yeah.
So besides the name confusion, I think we're just going to have to be looking at each other.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourselves. Let us know where you work, how long you've been in the industry, how you got into it, and we can start digging into it. Who wants to go first?
I mean, you can go first.
Sure. So my name's Morgan. I work for Magpie, Dead Red Pecker, and Murphy's Law. I know, what a surprise. But I started bartending, about 2.5 years ago now. I was in undergrad out in Geneseo, and I was in a sorority, and we did this silly little thing towards the end of the school year that was this like scav hunt. So it was a pregame for a party. You had an hour and a half. Some people the grade below you made this whole like scavenger hunt list of things that you have to do. And each of the things had a point value. And the higher the points were, the crazier the things were.
Sure.
And there were like silly little things like take a group picture on the library yard, shotgun a beer on the roof of an academic building. And like the harder the points got, the crazier things were. Like one of them was to give one of your teammates bangs, go shot for shot with a freshman, switch clothes with a guy, silly things. And they just, like I said, they just got harder and harder. But one of the ones was to apply for a job on Main Street. And we were already at the bar. There's 2 bars in Geneseo, and there's one that's open every day. But we were there because we all loved it. And one of the things was to apply for a job on Main Street. And I was just like, oh, I'll do it. I'm never going to get a call. I don't know how to bartend. And so I left my name and number on just a scrap piece of the paper. I was like, oh, I'm definitely not getting a call back. She called me the next day, and we were on the phone for like 45 minutes.
Wow.
And then she was like, okay, do you want to try? And I was just like, sure.
Yeah, no problem.
And here we are.
It's crazy.
And you got roped in. And that's one of the more interesting, unique stories.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I grew up in the industry, or, we talk about it all the time. Sometimes regulars just hang out. I'm like, hey, you guys looking for help? Jobs. But that's, that's cool because we do get those scavenger hunts sometimes. Actually, I had one not too long ago. But and now you are in it.
Yeah.
And, in it to win it or lose it, depending on how you look at it.
Oh, scary.
All right. Other Morgan, how did you get into it? How long you been working?
I've probably been almost 3 years now. I was just a regular at one of the local bars here, and I was good friends with the owners, and basically just said, hey, if you ever need help, like I'm really want to learn this industry. I'd love to even start as a bar back, whatever. So I started as a bar back. Like 2 weeks later, I get a text, hey, we already know you, so do you want to just come start training? And I was like, sure, I can work tonight if you need me. So basically started that, and then started bartending maybe like 4 months into it.
Wow. That's a quick
Well, I busted my ass, so I did the work.
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
But I didn't really get any full-time bartending shifts till like a year in, but I was still bar backing, so I could help out or do whatever. I know we have some bar backs that like kind of do both. But yeah, so I've worked there. I worked here now. Murphy's, Magpie I pick up, Dead Red when I can. But yeah.
I talk to people all the time. It's like we're always kind of like bartenders, like a bar back that can help serve. But as from a manager perspective, I always tell my bar backs, I'm like, you're going to eventually want to bartend. You're going to learn. And then it's tough to find good bar backs. I want them to learn, but I'm like, we're going to try to hit the brakes as much as we can before you guys make the inevitable jump to bar back. To bartender. But it is nice, because for staffing reasons too, like if I have a bar back on, and if I gets a little busy, I'm not, throwing out the flares for someone to come in and help me out, because at least barbacks can, continue to barback and kind of relieve some pressure, which is huge.
Oh, totally.
And it is, and I know some barbacks that have no interest in it. So, I mean, but that is, you guys do have some interesting stories getting into it. Yours a little bit more standard. The scavenger hunt thing, though, we just
That's
had
kind of
one.
That's funny.
I just had one come in not too long ago. Obviously, usually a younger thing. Like, I think I was working with Pat, and they just had us put on like neon bracelets. That was one of the things. And,
Yeah.
Sure.
yeah, they go around and as long as you don't make me do anything crazy or take a picture that looks weird, and then you crop it, and then my wife's like, "What's that all about?" Then yeah, we're definitely happy to partake in all those things, and it's cool that people find a way to go out and kind of give drinking a purpose a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I remember I was actually at Magpie Saturday just drinking with, I think it was Sean, and there was this group of girls that came in. It was a birthday scavenger hunt or bingo or whatever.
Right.
And I ended up helping them do a bunch of the stuff on there. I did a push-up contest with one of the girls.
You win?
No, of course. I thought I was going to win. That's why I did it. Little things like that I find that so fun. Even if I'm like not even bartending, like that's just so fun to me.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
also, you meet those people like, oh, they're going to come back in here again. Then
Right.
you're working one
Yeah.
day. And then it's like, okay, now you got a rapport. Now you got friends. Now
Oh,
you got
yeah, yeah.
customers.
Yep.
And, that's a big thing about really you got to lean into it. You really have to lean into it. And it makes it more fun if you do. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm, older now, but I always like tell people all the time, like, you got to try to enjoy it. You got to have fun. And, it makes the night and the customers more fun if you're having fun.
Oh,
Oh, for
totally.
sure. Yeah.
And
It just brings the vibe up.
so did you ended up working throughout college at that one bar that you applied to?
Yeah. So I worked at Kelly's. I actually still kind of work there. I'm working there Thursday.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
nice.
I just pick up shifts when they need some help. But yeah, I started there, and then I worked the end of my college experience, and then that summer, and then I moved into Rochester for grad school, and I still stayed on like one day a week, and I would pick up maybe 2-3 shifts here and there, like a month. And it was great. And then up until I left for New York City for a little while, I bartended there. And then
Nice.
when I got to New York, I kept bartending.
What kind of places you bartend in New York?
So I worked at like a higher end bar. It was a lot of cocktails. Like our well was, for me, very expensive, but I'm also really cheap. So I'm a cheap drink. So
Self-awareness.
I mean, you
is
are
important.
having a blue light right now. So
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Morgan, the employee price for a blue light is the same price of a regular.
yeah.
So New York City, did you like it down there? Did you like working, or was it like?
Yeah. Yes and no. I liked working there. The bar I worked at was one of the best jobs I'd ever had. It was, they had a bunch of different locations, but they each were their own completely different, like how Murphy's and all of us are here. And it was this classic, like vintage American kind of vibe. It was over by Bryant Park. We were in uniform. Like I had to wear a suit vest.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I would not like that.
I had to wear like a
Morgan's like, I
button-up.
can't do push-up contest in a vest.
If I can't wear like a hoodie and like black sweatpants or something.
But yeah, so they knew I kind of came from, like I did a little bit of cocktail here and there because I also worked at a hotel for a little while. I did like my first round interview, which was just like a personality thing. And then they liked me. So I came back and I did like a practical almost, where he got me behind the bar. He had a bar back, Oscar, who helped me just because obviously I don't know where their juices are or their special syrups or whatever.
Yeah.
They had me make 3 cocktails. It was a margarita, an old fashioned, and a cosmopolitan, I think. And so he had me make all 3. And that was more just to see like, oh, I know how to use all these tools.
Right,
Like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because he knew obviously he looked at my resume. He knew I didn't have that much coming in, but he took a chance on me. And I feel really good in cocktail bartending now. The people who trained me there were phenomenal. They were some of the best people I know.
No, it's definitely a different thing. And we've talked about this before, and I think I have some people that are interested in coming on that are more cocktail bars, and I got to apologize up front to them that when we have like our style of bars, when we get people that come from a cocktail bar background,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
I mean, yeah.
like, what kind of this do you have? I'm like, Surfside? I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's just a different thing. But the way I've always looked at it is that all the ingredients, there's so many juices, it takes
Oh yeah.
so
Yeah.
long to turn around a drink, which from a bartender's perspective is kind of part of the craft of it.
Yes.
But the way our volume runs, we would have 1 million people and do half the revenue because
No, for sure. Yeah.
you can't, like, we're quick churn and burn.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting, especially coming from like, a college town like Geneseo.
Yeah.
Because, and I actually,
Yep.
going back to Kelly's, I remember, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I remember when Kelly's burned down.
Oh shit. Yeah. That's St. Patrick's Day is the anniversary of their reopening.
Good for them. Because I remember a bunch of people from Geneseo came into
I-
Magpie
yeah.
crying with Kelly's shirts on.
Yep.
and they told me what happened. I'm like, oh my God, here, have a drink on us.
Oh my
And
God.
like, it's one of those places where you
Yes.
got
Yeah.
these towns that's a staple. That's what
Yep.
people are known for.
Oh yeah.
Been there forever. And again, I think that speaks to the bar culture, what it means to a community, what it means to the people that have come through there. Like, Magpies like that for park.
Yeah, it's a staple there.
Oh,
Yep.
100%.
100%
Yeah, and
staple.
it's like, that's a huge loss to communities. I was just listening to a podcast earlier today, and a guy from England was talking about how like all these British pubs are closing, and it's
Yeah.
like devastating the communities, which is
Yeah.
because that's where they meet, and that's especially British culture. No offense to you Brits, but I don't think it's going to be, I mean, I've never been to England, so I'm
Well,
not going to talk about
There
that.
wasn't there a British
Yeah,
pub
Old
down the
Toad.
way? Old Toad, yeah.
They
Oh,
just
yeah.
I think they just sold nothing.
Sold it,
Oh,
yeah,
I had no
so,
idea.
yeah.
And they had like they almost had like an internship program where they would
Yeah.
have
Oh.
British kids come from England, and there was legitimate,
Yeah.
bartenders from the UK, young kids that got to go to school, and it was like a program they had to have those kids come over here and work.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
But it shows you, that these bars do become a part of communities, and you have generations that go through. And whether it's a college town, like, yeah, my dad went to college here, and I'm,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
where he hung out, and now it's where I hang out. And I think that goes very much underappreciated for, don't get me wrong, a lot of people don't like bars in their neighborhoods and stuff. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of problems that could potentially come with it if they're not strict on stuff. But
Yeah.
I definitely think that it's underrated for what bars bring to communities, neighborhoods, the friendships you make, the
Yeah.
connections you
No,
make.
yeah.
And then, it's, when every time you hear a bar's closing, it's like end of an era. They always have
Yeah.
a going away part,
I mean,
Yeah.
when I found out Public House was closing, I was like super devastated. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like, I celebrated my 21st there. My girlfriend literally told me she loved me when I was there with her. Like, that has so much memory to me just for years on end. And now it's
Yeah.
just, here we are.
End of an era.
End of an era.
We had a 10-year run there.
Yeah.
I tell people that's all the time. My barber, he met his wife there, and he pulled her over a stool. And when we were closing, I brought him a stool
Yeah.
to bring home, and he brought it home to his wife. She goes, I know exactly what that is.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So,
so
exactly
sweet.
where it's
Yeah,
from.
you have like,
Yep.
these stories that in between all the drunken singing and potential fights and getting sick, and there's some real
Yeah.
there's some real love in there that binds it all together.
I remember actually, funny story. I was there one night and the girls' bathroom was taking way too long. And I know this from like my sisters, like we were all going in there and like you're sitting there for a good 20, 30 minutes waiting for the women's bathroom because everyone just sits there and chats.
Yeah.
So then you don't know who's in line and then whatever. And these two girls didn't want to wait in line. So they ended up going towards the boys' bathroom and going into the ice closet
Oh,
and
yeah.
peeing in the ice closet.
Jesus
God.
Christ.
And security caught them and is like carrying the girl out like with her pants half down and like literally out the bar.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
So
Yeah, public. There was one time a girl, I think probably the same situation. Like there's where the dartboards where she didn't want to wait in line, and she just grabbed the garbage can that
Yeah.
was between there, and in the middle of the bar just peed in the garbage can.
Jesus.
Yeah. So the
people
stuff
have
you
no
see.
shame when they're drunk.
No.
True.
Like
So
me
true.
now have to pee. I'm not going to ruin my $20 jeans. So
No.
you're going to have to take this garbage can out. It's like, well, you're going to get kicked
Yeah.
out anyway. So you're going to be peeing somewhere else very soon.
Yeah.
And Morgan, you were telling us you're going to be an EMT now.
Yeah. So I have a day job. I hate being behind a desk. I figured this out as I started bartending because I was like, I love doing that. Like that's something that's so fun to me. But there's so many more career bartenders here that I feel like it would be hard for me to squeeze in a spot. But I always wanted to be in the military. I was like, but unfortunately, I'm medically like not able to.
Okay.
So I was looking at a way to like find some sort of structure, but like not being behind a desk, and becoming an EMT to eventually become a firefighter was something that just seemed so intriguing to me. So I was
Mhm.
like, that's just so interesting. Like, why wouldn't you want to save someone's life or be there for someone in their worst time? Which we do that when we're bartenders. We stand here and have conversation with people
Oh, yeah.
in the hardest days of their lives. So like,
No, that's 100%, and it is in line, and that's great that you're doing that. And I had a bunch of firefighters in my family, so much appreciated. But you're right, we do serve. The bartenders are a lot of those things. It's about the time we're
yeah.
therapists, and like, hey,
it really is.
and it's sometimes a simple gesture like, let me, your next beer is on me, or your next
Mhm.
shot's on me.
Yeah.
It can make people feel better. And also, you got to make sure if someone's emotionally vulnerable, you don't let it go too far because now you've just developed a problem on your hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're
Yeah,
like,
right. And
"Oh,
then
your
alcohol gets
girlfriend
bad.
left you, or you had a death in the family. I'm so sorry. This one's on us."
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're like, "Okay, this person probably should have left an hour ago."
Right.
And now I've become a part of a situation that I had no intention of
Being
Yeah.
involved
before.
in.
Yeah. But no, that's great. And also, firefighters and EMTs make good customers too. When they have their days
Yeah.
off, they
Oh
come in,
yeah.
they drink, they
I
spend
know
money, they
I
hang
know a
out.
lot of firefighters around here like that. One of my good friends that I grew up working with when I worked at Wegmans, crazy, but she became a firefighter, which kind of set me on the
On the path.
course, and I was
Yeah.
like, if she's doing it, maybe I could do it. Like,
Hell yeah.
so
Yeah.
Good for you. We have
yeah.
a girl that used to work for us for years at Half Pint, and she's a firefighter now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And yeah, but like I always like when the firefighters, because they do the old fashioned thing with the kitty. Everyone throws in some
Yeah,
money.
the kitty.
Let
Yep.
us know when we're getting low, and
Or
then
like a boot.
so everyone throws
Yeah.
in cash, and you just pull from the pool,
Yep.
Mhm.
and they always tip well. And they have like those those days where they're like, we all just got off the shift, and we're not going back for another day or two, and love having those guys as customers, and we
Yeah.
do appreciate all of our first responders. So New York City, I do want to talk about that more because it's
Yeah.
funny when I get someone at a bar here when you say it's expensive for you.
Yes.
And also when you grow up in a medium or small city,
Yeah.
everything is relative. So I think the sticker shock goes two ways. Like when you're in this industry or not, if you're used to drinking in Rochester or Geneseo, and then you
Mhm.
go even on a trip in New York or Vegas or Miami,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Oh
you're
yeah.
like,
yeah.
holy fuck. That is. And on the other side of that, I've had people come in from New York or LA, and they'll order like 10 shots of Patron, and I'm like, $80. They're like,
like
each? And I'm like, no, that's the
no.
whole round. And then they'll tip me
Yeah.
$100 because
Yeah.
they're like,
Because they
oh.
prepared for like
They're fully mentally ready
Yeah.
for it.
It's like reverse sticker shock. And then it's funny because then like later in the night, I'm like some kids bitching about the price. I'm like,
right.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
buddy, you don't know how good we got it here.
We really do. My mom and I always used to joke saying that I bartended at a place that I could never afford to drink at.
Have to work so much, I don't have any time to go out to afford the drinks.
That's crazy.
How long were you in New York?
I was there about 8 months, I want to say.
Okay.
I was doing an internship for grad school.
Okay, very cool. No, I like New York. I haven't been down there in a while. I used to go a lot. Is the whole bartending culture down there different, or is it kind of the same? Or
Yes and no. The culture there, like, so when I worked here, the first bar I worked at, it was all female bartenders. And I've seen a lot of bars in Rochester too. They typically do have more female bartenders than male.
I think they should.
I agree. But I got there, and for up until the last month, I was the only female bartender on staff.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was such as like a strange flip.
That is interesting.
And they were all like the very like career bartenders. They're like, they could tell you every little detail about every little like difference between like with whiskey, and they could tell you all about that and the history of it. They could tell you all about like old cocktails people don't even order anymore, and like the history and all of that. So it was really cool. And they were just like, you could tell like, oh, this is what they're going to do until
Yeah,
they
this is
retired.
this is their career.
Yeah. And
And-
they loved it. And they were, for the most part, they were so excited to be like, okay, this is how you do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to like micromanage you about it for the next month until you figure it out. But like, this is how you do this. And
Yeah.
you'll get there too.
I get it too. I mean, if you have like that kind of a place, that style of place, then you're gonna attract customers that are looking for that
for that
experience.
experience. Yep.
And then the same thing on the other side of the table. If you're your local Cheers or your dive bar or whatever
Yep.
it is, if I'm not gonna walk into some hole in the wall somewhere and order some ridiculous drink, and then ask about the history of the drink of the bottle that's got dust on it that's been sitting in the corner.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as a bartender, it's easier to kind of know the crowd, like read the room kind of thing, where you're like, if I walk
Yeah.
into a place, I'm like, they're probably not going to have this. Don't bother
Yeah.
asking. And that's where you see that bars fit into different neighborhoods. They change with the time. I can make drinks. I tell people all the time, if they come in and order something that's a little bit higher end, I'm like, yeah, I can, I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
I know how to make it. It's not going to be the same as somewhere that you went specifically for that,
Right.
that specializes in that. Because and that's another thing, as long as I've been doing it, the bar has evolved to what it is. It's changed along with the neighborhood.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
when Magpie first opened, that was, high-end bourbons, high-end scotches, more craft beer, and, more cocktails, martinis. And now it's just we kind of, as the drinking culture has changed and
Shifted,
evolved.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's we're throwing high noons and Surfsides at people more often than not, or vodka
Yeah.
sodas and gin and
Yeah.
tonics. It's nothing crazy, but I don't know. I just, I don't think I would work at a cocktail bar, but I'd have to do like happy hour. Like I couldn't sit there till like late night.
I mean, like when I first started, technically where I first started was a cocktail-ish bar. Like it still had like, high noons, it's bottled beer, whatever.
Right.
But primarily people were coming in for the different cocktails. So like you're doing cocktails all night, but you're still also having that intermingled of like someone wants a margarita, but then they also want like 3 high noons.
Right.
So like it's where you
Little
don't,
hybrid.
yeah, like you don't have to make 20 different cocktails like very quickly. You make 1 or 2 and then you can still be providing the service and the hospitality that they want. Like the best advice I ever got was when you start bartending, yes, obviously it is about getting them their cocktail and providing them the service, but giving them an experience and providing the hospitality of being at a bar is very important. It should be one of those things that's always in the back of your mind, providing a hospitality, providing the service for someone, creating a welcoming environment for everyone that comes in. So I just think that like, it's just so interesting to see how different bars create different hospitalities based on what they serve.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 100% agree. And that's, from an ownership or management standpoint, you got to be aware of that and say, and my dad always told me, he goes, we are in the service industry. We serve. It's a part of who we are. It's part of what we do, like Morgan was saying. And I was taking a couple of jabs at like the cocktail side of things, but I've talked about this before where like the first part of my Saturday shift is more, you get the people coming in from the suburbs that are out for dinner and want to drink before they have dinner and they watch you make it. It's like, you're part, it is part of that whole experience, like you said. And so like, as we're talking about, I'm like, you know what? That is really, it's part of the art. Like we were talking about.
Yeah.
And you got to have that ability to do it. And like even little things like, I know anyone that, a lot of shots that we do, if someone wants to do pre-made shots, but I don't even think you can do, but like, even if I had the option to make it like, even at a Saturday when I'm 4 deep and everyone's yelling and screaming, I still want to shake a cocktail because it's part of it.
That's part of it.
It's part of it. And like, just making sure and seeing how good your count was and all those other things.
Yeah.
And also if you get good at certain things, there's sometimes like the younger college crowd is like, holy shit, you just poured those 12 shots super fast and they're all the right amount. I'm like, yeah, I know how to count.
Yeah. It's a slight flex.
Yeah.
But,
It's got more flair to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably start bitching about people.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, guys, I know we've talked about this before. My good friend David Gunning has his book out, The Bartender's Guide to Douchebag Customers. We're actually going to dabble into volume 2 here a little bit. I had Morgan pick out their character we want to talk about tonight, and we are going to be talking about the string along. So the string along, douche meters a 9 out of 10, and their preferred drinks are any complicated drink possible, ordered one after another, which we were talking about.
Yes.
Especially when it's like, like, cause you have like your station where your wells are and, where your ice is, and then you go make a drink and then you come back and then it's another drink, whether it's the same thing or something different.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you got to go back and like this whole process is so inefficient. And the string along. So it's when an insufferable bitch who will roll up all by herself and order a drink. Magically, another friend will appear while the bartender's making the first drink, brings up the first drink. The shitbag orders another drink. And yes, this does happen.
A lot.
And it happens a lot with like cocktails.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's worse when someone comes up, says, oh, I need like 2 espresso martinis. And then
Then
start
everyone's
making
getting
them,
an
and then they're
espresso
like, wait,
martini.
we need like 3 more. Okay, cool. Like could have told me all at once, but okay, like 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. We also need like 2 margaritas, a spicy marg, but one without salt and one with salt. And then you're like,
All right.
Could have laid it all on me at once, and then I can process it and start doing your drinks, and then you don't have to sit there and wait, and you can go back to your friends or like have a friend come over and sit there and you guys can talk while I make your drinks.
No, and it's like because that one friend they feel like has like the most access to the bar, that
Yes.
has to be the ambassador to the bartender. And then, I've had that happen before and people hand me multiple cards. This one
Yes.
goes on this, these
Yep.
2 go on that. I'm like, I've been here for a fucking hour and I haven't done one transaction yet.
No.
And, then if
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's a cocktail. All right, now I got to rinse, my shakers and do all this
Yep,
stuff and
to-
start all over again.
Yep.
And it's, especially when it's like a mixed shot or something and we talk about the dreaded 1 green tea all the time. And it's like, they add 1 more and some friend pops up. And then another thing I see with these people is you're sitting there and they have to huddle with their friends and then come back with the order. And then you're sitting there like, are we done? Here's the total.
Yeah.
And then they come back with something else. And
Yep.
it's like,
Yeah.
it never fucking ends.
And then they want to close it, and then they come back. They're like, "Wait, can we add that to our tab?" No,
No,
you
you
just
cannot.
closed
You already
your tab.
I used to give people the option of saying, do you want to reopen and do another transaction? And I'll void it out. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just ringing up your card again.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to go through the whole process of voiding
Yeah.
it out. And then I'm going to tell you right now that it's going to take a day or two for the first charge to come off because your bank has to communicate with our system. And then they're going to call the next day like, hey, I have 2 charges of last night
Yeah.
and I didn't order twice. I'm like, listen, asshole. Like I told you about all this. Had you had any bar etiquette to begin with, you would have just
Yeah.
said, here, just run it again. But the string alongs are bad. You were just telling us this. I want to hear the car bomb story again.
Yeah. So it was Saturday night here. And me and Griff were on the one side by the windows. And I had this guy. It was pretty busy. Saturdays have been popping off recently, which has been so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's back in school. The weather's starting to get better. He was open with Alexia, who was on the other side of the bar too. So he came up to my section and he was like, "Oh, can I get 5 car bombs?" And I was just like, "Sure."
Great.
And then I come back with 5. He's like, "Oh, can I get another 5?" I was like, "So 10 car bombs." He was like, "Yeah." So Griff, starts pouring out some of the mixer for the shot part. And I give them to him. I start to ring them up, and he's like, "Oh, wait, can I get 2 more and like a shot of tequila, and then I'm good." It's just like,
Okay.
okay,
Like I try to joke about it to make myself feel better and to stay in a good mood because you kind of keep yourself. I'm like, hey, more is better. That's a good thing. There is a breaking point where it's like you just don't know how to order.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have no consideration for my time or anyone else, and God forbid one of your other friends has to come to the bar and order themselves or wait for a minute. But I've also had the issue where I've had people order too much and say, actually, I need one less. I go, you have ordered this.
Yeah.
Like,
It has left the bottle. It is now across the bar. It is yours. And I one time did. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll get rid of it, or I won't charge you for it. Trying to be a good bartender. Then later they'll come back and order one. I'm like, fucking asshole.
I mean, I got from one of the bartenders I worked with. He basically set a precedent for himself that if anybody ever came in and ordered 1 mixed shot, he automatically would charge them for 2 and give them 2 and said, "We don't make like
Single shot. It fucks
Yeah.
up the counts and
yes,
the juice and all this all
Yeah.
the other stuff you got to do with it. And that's another thing too, is that if you make one and it's just so quick mixing
Mm.
because the counts are like fractions, and then you give it over to them, and if you put you don't do it right, it looks like a really big shot. And if it's a really big shot, then the next time they come back and order 2 or 3, like my last one was bigger because you ordered 1.
yeah."
And I don't count in fractions on a Saturday night. I can't do it.
I've definitely been to bars where they like have like a shot minimum. Like if you're going
Yeah, we
up,
should
like it's
implement
like
that.
a poster on the wall. There was one I used to go to a lot. That was like shot minimum was 2. So if you went up and you're like, "Oh, can I get a green tea shot?" And they're like, "Oh, you gotta get 2." Or there was another sign somewhere else that was like 1 single shot, $25. But their shot prices
So
were like
it was
$5.
one single like mixed shot.
Yeah.
It was like reverse incentive
Yeah.
to like order, you got people that just, when you get the people that order straight shots, it's super nice and it's super easy, especially when you're
No,
busy.
yeah.
And I think there's got to be some sort of etiquette that people got to understand that if you're having me mix a bunch of shots, maybe that's, worth a little bit of an extra tip if you got people shaking stuff when it's super busy,
Yeah.
because granted, I mean, there is like the time value of stuff where you're sitting there and I got to pour 8 shots of
Yeah.
Jameson or Jack Fire, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's much less of my time in a quick turnaround than, don't get me wrong, it's all part of the gig. I'm not complaining that like if you order something that I have to shake as a bartender, you have to tip me more. That'd be ridiculous. But maybe a little consideration, especially
I mean, yeah.
I've had people that I'm pissed off about how they order, but then they tip me well. I'm like, all right, that was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a crapshoot in our industry. It's tough to.
Oh yeah.
It's tough to gauge, especially like if you have, or your friends come in and they do that to you where it's like they have, "Oh, we need like 5 shots of tequila and 1 green tea." And then you're like,
Come on.
I automatically would be like, "Why are we like being a dick right now? You're going to have tequila as well as everyone else. Like,
Yes.
we're
Yeah.
not doing that right now."
It's like, don't hate me, but I already do. I already hate you.
Yeah.
You?
As soon as you try to get me to not hate you, I hate you even more.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. So,
It's a little of a bit of a softer blow if someone's like, well, I'm going to be a pain in the ass. Can I get a,
It like mentally preps you.
yeah, you're just like, at least makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Know. Like if you don't know like at all, it's like I'll do this, this, and this. And I'm so excited to take my one shot because I will not do the shot. And I get it. You shouldn't have to drink something you don't want to drink.
Right.
I also, if they're ordering a bunch of tequilas and one girl is like, I can't do that, I'll do a green tea or a lemon drop. I'm like, I'd rather do that than you try to take tequila, black out, and throw up all over the
on the
bar.
bar. Yeah. No, yeah, I get that.
I've seen people take some shots that I'm like, they take it and I'm like, what's going to happen? You're just like,
yeah.
I mean,
You can
I've
see
done
it on
that.
their faces.
I've done that too. I'm like, I'm so prepared for this tequila shot. I take it. I go.
And you're sitting there like,
I used to. It's so funny.
What's going to happen?
Before I even started bartending, I would take tequila shots with my friends, whatever, my sisters, and we'd all take him and be like, all right, okay, I gotta pee. And then I'd go to the bathroom, go throw up, and then come back. No one knew.
No one knew. The old boot and rally.
The boot and rally. Like, but at least I was like, I had the etiquette to be like,
oh, yeah.
I know I'm gonna throw up, but like, I can do this real quick, be by the bathroom, and then I'm good.
Yeah. I'm going to do this shot over here.
I'm just gonna do it.
I'm going to do it in the bathroom.
Right by the bathroom.
You guys have a cocktail server? I'm sitting in the bathroom.
No, yeah.
I know this seems strange, but it's for your benefit. The drinks are getting more expensive.
Oh,
and
yeah.
people have
for
less
sure.
money. And it's difficult for us because it's like, all right, they're trying to save money, but the bill's still going to be a little bit higher than it was 5 years ago. But
Yeah.
also, it's like, I see people just rip shots of wild tequila throughout the night. I'm like, hey, good on you. As long as you don't throw up
Yeah. Oh, my God.
or start a fight.
This would have been about a year ago now. It was one of my roommates at the time. I lived with 5 girls. It was like the first month of us all living together. And the one roommate and I were like, oh, we should go to the bar. We've never gone out together. So we lived like on the outskirts of Rochester, out in Chi-Li. So we Ubered in. I'm so sorry, Maggie, if you ever hear this. So we started, I think, over at Filger's. And we had like a drink there. I'd never really been out in this area yet. It was like, I'd been like here like during the daytime, but I'd never gone out. So we started over at Filger's. It was fine. It was great. And then we came over here for a drink. And then we met up with her friends over at Swan Dive. And I felt so bad to the bartender this night. We get in. We're all, we're pretty drunk, but we're not like hammered or anything. We've got like a good buzz going on. And we're sitting at the bar. And she gets these guys to like buy us a shot. So they buy us a shot. And it was a green tea shot. Funny enough.
Yeah.
And so we did it. And she's sitting there. And like she goes white in the face.
Oh,
I was like,
no.
Maggie, like, girl, you good? And we don't know each other that well at this point. She said, we'd lived together for like 3 weeks. And I was like,
a
are
real
you
bonding
okay?
experience.
And she like flops her head up and she's like,
Oh,
I was just like, are you going to puke? And she's like, so I like grabbed her by the back of the shirt and the bathroom's upstairs. So I'm like, yanking her up the stairs. She puked on the stairs. She puked on the bathroom door. She puked on me.
Oh.
And then she finally made it into the toilet.
And then she was like, I feel bad.
She's like,
now.
I'm done.
I get cleaned up. And then I had to be the one to awkwardly get downstairs and be like, hey, like, I tried to go to the bathroom upstairs and there's a lot of puke everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to be the
But
one
where
to
did
tell
she
you
puke?
that.
Oh, do you guys have like a diagram? I'm gonna write X on.
Just like-
So a little here, there's a little bit there. And also, do you
Just a
guys
little
sell
line.
t-shirts here? That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've seen it before. I've had, very rarely do I have someone like puke on the bar, but I've gone, especially when you're bartending and then you like at the end of the shift, you go to the bathroom, like, oh, I can finally go pee. You go in there, you're like, what the fuck happened back here?
Oh, yeah.
It gets bad. Another thing is, I think like people are on their phones all the time too. So it's a problem in
Yeah.
the men's room where I think they just miss the toilet more because they're on their
Oh,
phone.
it's bad.
They're not even
No.
looking. They're like, oh, I'm just going to piss somewhere in this general direction.
As long as it's near there.
Yeah. They're like,
Yeah.
I'm in the proper room. I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't
That's
count.
fucking nasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
God.
you don't eat on the floor in your kitchen. Like, I'm in the right room.
Yeah.
So this is totally fine.
I one
But-
time as a barback had to clean up like the entire bathroom because there was just puke in the sink, puke on the wall. Someone didn't puke, but they other end all over the toilet because like they were just having a rough night.
And I'll see the bathroom at the end of the night. I'm like, what time did this happen? How long has this been in this
Like
condition?
how long? Yes, right.
Yeah.
And we've had like, girls use a lot of toilet paper. I've had
It's everywhere.
like at the end of the
Oh,
night, I'll
yeah.
go in there and I'm like, what? And someone's like at like 1:30, someone's like, the toilet's not flushing. I go in there and it's just
It's
a
like a-
mound of toilet paper.
Didn't
Yeah.
one of
And
the
people are just pissing and puking on top of it. I'm like, what are you doing?
one of the toilets here, I think, broke one time after like St. Patrick's Day. I
That
think it
makes
was like
sense.
years ago.
Yeah.
That broke because so many girls were just like shoving toilet paper in it or something.
It's just,
That's
be a
dumb.
little considerate of these places. I mean, it's you're fucking up everyone else's time if you're gonna go in
Yeah.
and be stupid. Like that's not like bar etiquette. That's just like being a civilized person. Like that's which I guess is a lot to ask.
It's hard. It's hard
these
to be
days.
civilized these
Yeah.
days.
All this technology and stuff, and here we are going right back to the Stone Age. Might as well just be, pissing in caves at this point. I understand you're drunk, but like you gotta have some idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it's more of like, well, it's not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I said,
No,
like, when I
yeah.
get to the bathroom, I'm like, how long has my bathroom been like this? Because I would have liked to resolve this before A, it got this bad, and B, it just looks bad.
And also,
Yeah.
like, we don't know if it was you or not. Like,
Right.
if you're just notifying us, like, it could be anybody. You just walked in and saw it like that. Like,
I was talking to another bartender we work with that's no longer drinking, and
yeah.
the difference you see in people when you're sober.
Oh
my
and,
God, yeah.
and you're like, holy shit, that was me. I was doing that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing. And sometimes like I feel bad. I'm like, man, this person's just not having a great night.
Yeah.
And I gotta, we were making sure that they're safe and we're giving them water and not serving them anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or, you see someone that's drunk that's just spending every last penny they fucking have at the bar.
Or they constantly will come up and be like, we need more shots. We need more shots. But like, I've given people shots of water and they have no difference.
Yeah.
They know
Yeah.
nothing that's going
I've been on both ends of that.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We went out not that long ago for my friend's birthday. We went down to Ithaca,
Mhm.
and
Oh.
I'm a lightweight. It's bad. I used to be able to a very heavy drinker, and then I didn't really drink at all last year. So like, my tolerance was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And so we went to this bar, and I drank way more than I should have. And my one buddy, he knows me pretty well. He realized, I don't know if I just had this vacant look. I was saying something stupid, and he kept giving me like vodka water, vodka soda. And he's like, "Oh, like here's your vodka soda."
Yeah.
Apparently, it took me like 3 of them to realize they weren't.
That's because you were sobered up.
Yeah. And he like made a joke. He was like, "You gave me the nastiest look like you've ever given me when you put it together." And I was like, "Oh."
It's weird when you're drunk and like
Yeah.
someone wants to cut you off or do something and you're like, people get offended by it. And I don't know if I
Yeah.
was ever like that. Like I've been walked out of a bar by security before, out of town here.
No, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe it's just because I grew up and I'm like, you know what? Probably for the best. But people get really upset or offended. And it's like, listen, the reality is I'm in a better state of mind than you. And I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you've had enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it's not a bad thing. But getting that point across to someone who's intoxicated,
Right.
like their brain's
much
just
harder.
their mind's just not working properly. So it's not like it's their fault.
Yeah.
But we are looking out for everyone's safety. And also we've had people that have friends that are hammered. They just send them home in an Uber. I'm like, go home with them, come back.
Yeah, don't be that person.
And if you're drunk, don't be like afraid to be the one that ruins the party.
Yeah.
Like your safety's a priority. Nothing's going to get any better tonight. You're going to put
Yeah.
yourself in a bad situation or put somebody else in a bad situation. But telling people they can't drink anymore is they think it's some sort of offense, and it's really not. And I understand why, because it's like they feel singled out,
Yeah.
but that's not the case. Like
Yep.
also you don't like we interact with everybody. So I know I've told this to 2 other people tonight.
Yeah.
It's not just you. And it's not that I don't like you. It's just a standard for what we need to do to maintain the business, to maintain your safety, and to make sure there's not any problems.
I mean, I was working a day shift one day, and this couple came in, and clearly the boyfriend or husband or whatever, he was hammered,
Mhm.
and he was trying to get shots and drinks and whatever. And the girlfriend was like there, and she's like, "I'll have a drink, but can you just get him a water?" And he goes, "Well, I don't need a water."
Yes, you do.
And then he started getting aggressive towards her,
Oh.
and I was like, I don't have security because it's day. So I was like, who can I call that I know that can be like, help this guy out? Because I'm 5'1" standing up and he's 6'2". So like, I'm like, I can't handle this. I don't want to put this woman in an unsafe position either. I ended up texting one of the bartenders that I knew that was like down the road.
Mhm.
And he came and he was like, dude, you're done. Like, you got to go. She's going to stay here for now. And you're going to go home, get in an Uber, whatever. You're not welcome in the bar today. She was like, thank you. He gets this way when he gets aggressive and drunk. And I'm like, and then it gets into that point where like, I'm becoming a therapist now for
Yeah.
this situation. And I go, oh crap.
And now you're
But,
no
like,
longer welcome in the bar either. You
I'm
can go
like,
now. It's been long
Yeah.
enough. He feels
Yeah.
better.
But like, I can't look
Well,
out for the safety of everyone in the bar and you. And like, I have to look out for the safety, but can't be your therapist as well
Right,
and like
yeah.
help you with the situation. So
People ask like, and I've seen We were actually just talking. He's a buddy of mine. Like years ago, he was being an asshole to his girlfriend years ago. And I was like, now I'm trying to mitigate this
Right.
situation. And it's Saturday night. We were closing up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen, and he was being obnoxiously rude to her. And, still a good friend of mine to this day. It's not the person I go, listen, dude, if you say something like that to her, she was being annoying, but she was drunk. Like, you got to understand what you're dealing with here. And I was like, if you say something like her to her like that one more time, I go, I'm going to slap you. And he did it
Yeah.
again. And I fucking wound up and slapped him right over the
As you
bar.
should.
Yeah.
And we're still friends. They didn't make it, shockingly, but it is tough to manage everything. And it's daytime. It's when we talked about that balance of females and males working at a bar.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like, we don't like females closing alone and,
Correct.
and doing
Yeah.
those things. Like
Yep.
usually at most places, there's at least a bar back or
Yeah.
security. And we always have staff that's hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But during the daytime, it's actually could be, that's why it's deemed safer because there's
Yeah.
the rest of the world is still operating. Where at a certain point at night, it's only the bars.
Yeah.
There's no general population out.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple daytime situations where it's like they're almost scarier in a sense if something like that happens
Yeah.
because you're like, okay, this motherfucker in the middle of the day is wilding out here. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of person am I dealing with?
Yep.
This isn't like a standard. Oh, he's been out drinking. It's midnight and he should go home.
Right.
This is like you got to go home in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
And especially if he was being aggressive to his wife or his girlfriend or whatever, you can't not do anything. You got to do something.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to tell someone's dynamics, especially like you hear one or two things. As a bartender, you hear the entire bar.
All
Oh,
the
I
time.
love
it's-
it. I love
I
these.
don't know.
Yeah.
Me too. It's like the way that the echo when you're like standing there and you're like, this is awesome. Like,
I can read lips if it's drink orders
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
I walked over to someone on Saturday night. We were packed, and the girl said to her friend, she was Blue Moon, like whispered, and I was 100 feet away.
Yep.
I go, Bloom, you want an orange with your Blue Moon? She was like, what? I'm like, I'm psychic. Don't worry about it.
yeah.
I just, I'm moonlighting as a bartender. I actually have a TV show on ABC.
We have readings in the back.
Yeah.
Oh
Actually.
yeah.
It's like $50.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure, for sure. But no, and you get that. But I'll have people say stuff right to my face, and I won't hear it.
Oh my God. It gets embarrassing to a point where I'm like, I get to the shift, like I'm easing in, I'm very attentive. And then I feel like I hit that middle. And then I'm like, you could tell me like, oh, I want a blue light. And I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What is it you want?
No, yeah.
Can you repeat that?
I
I
can't remember what
repeat
you said,
orders to
yeah.
people so I can hear myself say it because
Yeah.
I'm so
yeah.
frantic. I'm not really paying attention.
That's why, like with me, I'll hear it and I know I heard it right, but then I start changing it in my brain.
Yes.
But I was making it the way I heard it, and then I'd say to them, I like this was right. And after I had already made the drink, I'm like, that's
You're
so
like,
dumb. I
It
really
starts
should
off with
just
like a vodka soda, blue light, high noon.
yeah.
And then you're repeating it in your head. And by the time you get back to them, it's like old fashioned gin and tonic and a beer.
You're right.
And then Blue Moon. You're like, what the fuck just happened? I just
No,
black
yeah.
out in that 5 steps.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're sober, and you're like,
And I always double
How?
check. If I second guess myself, I always double check because like I'll be like, did you say vodka soda? They're like vodka Sprite. I'm like, okay, glad I asked because there was about to be an addition to the spill tab here in a second if I didn't
Yeah.
figure it out. I talked to somebody about that. It was a girl that used to work with us years ago. And I told her how I had this tick where I would repeat orders to people. It was almost like Blue Moon. I'm like, Blue Moon? And like that's kind of
Yeah.
how I repeated it to myself. And then it became just something I didn't even realize I was doing.
yeah.
And then I saw her like 3 weeks later. She goes, I fucking hate you. I'm like, why? She's like, I have not stopped repeating
that's-
people's drink orders to themselves ever since you told me that.
Yeah.
She goes, and now I can't figure out if I'm doing it because you said it or I've always done it and never noticed. So it was like bothering
I
her.
waited even thought about that.
And she was like, I'm losing sleep over this. And I'm like, yeah. 'Cause, I mean, it's so autopilot. When
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at a place like when you work there a while. I've been at Magpie since 2008 and everything is just like autopilot to a point where I've been taking receipts for people before they even sign them because I'm just like,
You're like, oh, they're done.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm going back to people that like know like when they should leave. This Saturday, I was working with Pat and these 2 drunk, like middle-aged ladies came in and I was talking, they were drunk, but they were like, yeah, we were just down at Dead Rat Pecker, like so-and-so coming in. I'm like, yeah, he'll be here. And I gave them 1 drink and then Pat walked in and he was like, you could tell he was trying to avoid them
Oh,
because they
right.
ran into him at Pecker. They were asking about Pat the whole time. And then mind you, one lady is, married with kids. She was telling me we were talking about her kids. And the other lady, single. And then she was like standing up, like leaning back on the bar stool, like as Pat was walking in, who she was there to see. She couldn't wait to see him. And she fell off her stool with like, it was just them and like another group of middle-aged people that just got done with dinner.
Oh no.
And so obviously Everyone's like, "Are you okay?" She laughed it off, like to a point where she laughed so much that it was like, "Okay,
And
you're
that's
coping."
embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I'm like, okay, well, at this point, they're gonna would not leave. I'm like, listen, if you're at a certain point in your life, you're chasing around bartenders,
That's the
and
worst part.
and you're falling off your bar stool, and then not saying that's embarrassing, I have to
No.
leave.
Yeah.
Then her friend left her, and she wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I hear her talking to her friend, like, I just need a guy that deserves me. And I'm like you're falling off your bar stool at
You're
8 o'clock
falling
at
for a
night.
bartender that's not
Yeah,
settling.
no. I go, maybe she'll find a guy that owns a nice flooring company because that's where she spent most of the night tonight. So, and she wasn't like belligerently drunk where she had no idea what was going on.
I
It's
feel
almost
that makes
like
it
just,
worse.
throw in the towel for
Yeah, I
the
don't know.
night. Take
I
the,
don't know which is worse.
no, it's like take the L, throw in the towel, but yeah, we couldn't get rid of her. She hung out for like another 2.5 hours.
Oh,
I hate people that do that though. Like when like you're absolutely past the time that you need to be leaving the bar.
Yes.
yeah.
But you're still sitting there, you're like, I'd love having a conversation with this bartender. People will do that and just continue to talk to me. And I go,
Mhm.
dude, like
You try to avoid them. Like Pat, it was funny. This girl was
Yes.
moving from each side of the bar, and me and Pat would just go to the other end.
switch. Yes.
We gave her an unopened Ultra, and she just held it for like 45 minutes. She didn't open it. Like you got like those bartender litmus tests where you kind of test people. And
Yeah.
You're like, okay, where are you at? You know?
Yeah.
Like just the soda waters, or
Yeah.
a shot of soda,
Yeah.
and it just never ends. But it's
A shot of just juice. And they're like, it's the best mix
it's
shot
the
I've ever
best mix
had.
I've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
had.
I feel like everyone starts like the thought of becoming a bartender from partying. Like they're like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love doing that. So like it must be so fun being a bartender. And then you become a bartender. And you're like, why did I put myself through this with fucked up people?
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
the thing. You
It's
got
crazy.
like some whimsical, like everyone like, can you teach me how to bartend? I'm like, you don't
want to do this.
you will sign your soul away and you can't get out, by the way.
No.
It's
Yeah,
always with you. You can get
Yeah.
out, you're always going to come back, and it's always going to be a part of you. But,
Yep.
you don't ever really truly get out of it. We talk about it all the time. It's an internship for life. Everyone should have to do it. Everyone should have to go through it.
I think everyone should be in the service industry when
Just
they're
for a
like
little-
16.
for a little
Everyone should
while.
just know.
Life lessons. You'll treat other people better. You'll be more aware of yourself when you're out and about.
No.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely very valuable. But that being said, do you guys see yourself being in here for the long haul? Do you guys want to? I know you have EMT stuff going on. You have a day job too.
Yeah. So I do a couple different things. I'm a grad student primarily. This is my last semester of classes, and then I
Good
do
for
my
you.
thesis in the fall. Thank
Good
you.
for you.
And then I'm starting to apply for PhD programs.
Good for you.
Thank you. I wanna go on, and this is such a silly thing to say, like not silly thing. I love it. I wanna be a professor at a college,
Awesome.
but those aren't really that hard of crazy hours.
You could still be a bartender.
I
and a
want to
professor. That
continue
would
to
be
still
so
be a bartender.
We
That's why I was
talked
like, oh, it's kind of funny.
That would be awesome.
It's also it's very, we talk about it all the time. It's always something that could be a little bit of us extra money. We
Yeah.
have teachers that work for us.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be something where like, you know what? I have off in the summers. I'm just going to work in the summers to make some extra money. I could pick up a shift when I feel like it. And it's just so valuable no matter what you're doing elsewhere or otherwise or elsewhere. You can move into, if you got to move.
Yeah.
And you're like, people are like, I'm going to move to at least get on your feet. You can just walk into your neighborhood bar and say, hey, I can, you guys
Bartend.
hiring.
Yeah.
It's cool too, because like you can do these programs. I did like a month. You can go places. They're like not working visas, but like, oh, like you trade a skill, you stay at like a hostel for free. Like it's
Oh,
like
that's
tit for
cool.
tat type thing. A friend of mine did that. He like went to France and worked on a farm. I did a month while I was traveling, just working at this bar, and like the money I made paid my stay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And it's going to translate everywhere. I know, Morgan, you're looking at becoming an EMT and a firefighter potentially.
I
You see your-
100%.
Always see yourself
100%.
doing
I
it.
mean, the firefighter schedule, you work approximately eight days a month, but they're like 24-hour shifts.
Right.
So it's like, what I know of it, it's like a day on, 2 off, a day on, 3 off. So like I could still pick up a bartending shift, like a day shift, or depending on which cycle I'm on,
Right.
like a night shift. Like I would still be able to bartend as much as I wanted to, which I would love to, because like this is such like a passion for me. Like I love doing this.
It's awesome. That's always great to hear. And that's why we do all this. We do the show. We always show up for work is because there is more
Yeah.
to it. It does become more party than people give it credit for, I think. And, it is a culture, the friends you meet, the people you meet, the skills not just making drinks, but the skills that you acquire from doing this job.
Yeah.
I think is always underappreciated. So I think we're going to start wrapping up here. I do want to do another shout out to Ardor Park Pizza, our local shout out today, 117 Park Ave. And guys, some gift cards from Ardor Park Pizza.
Thank you.
So
Thank
you know where to find them. They're good friends. Please make sure to check them out. Morgans, thank you so much for hanging out today. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did.
Yeah.
And, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure that you check out Ardor Park Pizza. Order your copies of The Bartender's Guide for Douchebag Customers. And we will see you next time here on Behind the Pine Podcast. Cheers.